Hey, my name is Jeremy Griffin. My journey with the Lord began really as a youth. It's really been a ongoing thing, but it's been up and down. But as far as like really trusting and having like really strong faith, has been mostly just this year. Like really earlier this year was like, at least as far as I understand, like one of the most pivotal moments as far as like not questioning God. Around June, July, earlier this year, like I was in the hospital. Yeah, they diagnosed me with like bipolar and said something like, but like I was going through a lot, like mentally, like emotionally, socially, just like struggling with a lot of stuff inside. And I never had like an outlet before to like really express that or get that out. But like earlier this year, like at least even while like being in the hospital, it was like they had a New Testament in there, and being able to read it and just like remember who I was, like in my identity, because like I went through a space like mentally where I was like, it was like I struggled a lot with identity and who I was, or like the direction I want to go in my life, and like the things that what were happening around me. And like through being in there, like being able to read the New Testament, and just because like I didn't have anyone, I didn't have people, I didn't have like my immediate family like saying like giving me advice or anything. It was like, all right, this is it was like me and God. So like being able to like read the New Testament there, like going through a lot mentally, spiritually, like a lot of spiritual warfare as like I label it now. But like my relationship grew with God at that point, because it like as a it was that moment I fully like understood better, like as a man, like I had to make a choice to, like mentally I was being like confronted like with all my past and everything, and it just put in perspective, like trying to go through life without like putting God first. Like during that time I began to see and realize like who I was, like who God was, like where I went wrong, and like a lot of like spiritual warfare, and just like not being able to sleep, like feeling like I was attacked. And like, I mean, now on this side, I can say that like if it wasn't for like really having a genuine relationship and like desiring God in those moments, in that moment, like it caused me to really like trust in him more, and not just, that's when it really became real. It wasn't just like, oh, this is just something we sing on Sunday. This is just something that people just say to like get through what they're going through. Like everything up until that point, that's how I perceived it. But yeah, when I didn't have like the resources and people, and had to remember like, phone numbers, and like reach out and call family, it was like that was one of the moments where I really had a choice to choose. And I chose him as far as really accepting him as my identity. I understand more now. Like I was trying to do a lot of stuff on my own and wasn't really accepting the help that people were trying to reach out and give. Yeah, like speaking up and being vocal about what I was dealing with, being verbal about it, like actually accepting the help like through other people. Like God knew what I was going through, but like I never had verbalized to other people what I was dealing with and going through mentally, socially, emotionally. Yeah, it was kind of at that moment, or one of those that moment, that decided not to question God after that. Like I still questioned some things, but like it put me in a position where yeah, I had to face like what was going on. Like well, through that, like I faced what was going on in me, and not being afraid to like to speak and say like as an adult now, but all the stuff I kept inside like as a child and growing up as a teenager, and everything, just a lot of fear really helped me back from like from being open and really feeling like I was being myself in a lot of circles growing up, and insecurity. But like that time being alone with God really, yeah, it really forced me to confront me and like what was going on in me, and it wasn't like everybody else like how I thought before. but yeah, it was a moment I had to like internalize and reflect on like what was really going on, and like from that I began to be more open about it and like speaking about it, and like get the help I needed from other people, and realize like the other people of faith like also have been through what I've been through, and like because the fear was just like I was the only one dealing with it, dealing with like not being good enough, struggling with pornography or like being like single and like all of that. Like as a young man, like I was confronted with all those things, forgiveness, like letting go, but like it was hard in the moment. But like now on this side, like I can't say I'm free from it and can stay free from it like through community, like through being open and speaking, and not nothing to shame get me down like I did like previously. Understanding, yeah, I'm not the only one going through what I was going through. Well, I feel like, yeah, God was showing me through all that. Like it is a walk, and like the walk just doesn't continues to go on. But there are others that have been down this road, and like being open and vulnerable. Like first with God, because He knows it all. But like taking the step and saying something and verbalizing, hey, this is what I'm dealing with, like help me stay free from like the fear and what held me bound before.